Oh my god, on time and everything?
And Jay's not wearing horizontal stripes? Well done.
Yeah.
This is one of those.
Oh, we're so awesome. We're so awesome. Love us.
Jay's like, why the fuck am I here?
You're here because you're waiting for the moment to make fun of me. I have been picking on you for the last 4 times we've been recording. You're waiting for your moment, Jay. You know it. You know it. Come on. Come on.
I'm gonna disappoint you. I decided to reintroduce myself to my Hispanic roots, and I went out drinking yesterday.
Oh, come on.
I do what I want.
Obviously, you do that. Don't make me be even more racist than I already am, because I'll do it. I will do it. Do not make me turn this car around.
Okay, I am becoming an old bastard like you decrepit motherfucker. Okay, and I'd be goddamn if I'm not gonna spend the rest of my 30s getting fucked up and watching people lose their life savings at casinos. That's my favorite pastime. Why? Nothing makes me feel good about myself than watching old white guys try to beat up a casinos and yell at the freaking employees. Cause in case you don't know, as long as you gamble, you get free drinks, and nothing's worse than a drunk person who loses everything. Because Jesus Christ,
just say, I would know. I spent over 14 years in the casino business. I know how this works.
Yeah, cause my friend told me for his birthday, he lost $1,200 gambling.
$1,200. That's it. $1,200 is. That's it.
Yeah. We'll see. He works in the casino industry as well, so he kind of knows the game. But in the end, he got back 600. So so it's not that bad. But I have seen people in like the 5-figure range, and they lose their fucking minds. Especially, yes.
I kid you not. As a dealer, true story. We spend about 20 to 30 minutes at any given table, then we move to the next table. In one 20-minute session of blackjack with somebody playing all the spots they can play, I took $10,000 in chips from this person in 20 minutes. I am not kidding. Not kidding.
Yeah, so everybody listening, and you come to Vegas, people watch. People watch is one of the best things ever.
Oh yeah,
because you will see people just like you'll see people on the phone, all nervous and shit, how to explain why they lost 25 grand at the blackjack table. Like,
yep.
It's if you come to Vegas and you don't plan out correctly, you're gonna have a bad time.
Now, speaking of a bad time, I want to bring this up right off the jump, because I find this to be sort of a microcosm of the gaming world in the past several years. I shared this in the chat. This has been making rounds, but hasn't been getting quite the traction I thought it would. There was that article. Make sure I get to it correctly. Don't want to mispronounce anything. There's an article. Here it is, right here. There's an article on, of all places, IGN. IGN of all places. Written by Grant Stoner. I've actually seen a few things from Grant. Grant comes off to me as someone who at least has an idea of what they're doing. The fact that three prominent disability advocates in the gaming space never even existed blows my mind. It's not something that I find unbelievable, because we've seen this in other spaces. But the fact that this goes as far back as 2019, and one of the people has an award named after them, a person who never existed has an award named after them. And so I really encourage everybody to go read this article. This is the sort of thing that blows my mind, and honestly got me to ask this question. Does the ends justify the means here? And by that, I'm saying the overall effect of the advocacy of these 3 fake people, which is probably like 4 or 5 other people doing all of this,
right?
But these 3 fake people and their advocacy work does so the results of their work and helping and supporting other disabled gamers and bringing awareness, does that justify making up fake people and putting them out there, putting their stories out there as champions of the space? Does, in this situation, do the ends justify the means? Okay,
that's a good question.
Right. Do the ends justify the means? And by that I mean this. So have you ever seen a person who you thought was homeless, right?
Mm-hmm.
Homeless person. And they ask for money and you feel it in your heart, you're like, okay, I gotta help this person. And you give them whatever. You give them money, you give them something. But you see them later driving around in a really nice car.
Oh, I've seen some of those videos. I know what you're talking about.
Right,
Yeah.
Okay. Now, I remember when this happened to me, and that first time that hit me,
Mm-hmm.
and a friend of mine who's a very good friend, and he said to me, "Okay, that isn't your problem. Your job is to be compassionate. That's it. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Your job is to be compassionate. What that person does with that compassion is their problem. What that person did should not affect your compassion. It should teach you, obviously, but you should still have the compassion for people who are struggling. That's what we are asked to do."
Mm-hmm.
So, going back to going back to the original statement, do the ends justify the means here?
It's kind of hard to say, but the way I'm kind of like quantifying it, the way I'm kind of thinking on it is, in a way, yes, because people need a figure of hope. People need someone to kind of go, hey, if this person can do it, so can I. You know what I mean? It's kind of the modern day superhero type thing. Because you figure, how many times did do people say, like, Goku inspired me to go to the gym to get the same physique?
Sure.
Superman inspired me to be a good person. I have yet to hear one about Batman, but I'll get back to you on that one later. But it's like, I think in a way it does, and especially when you take the modern thought process to it, that these are human beings, that this is a person, not necessarily tangible, but a person I can point to or I can refer to inspire, to give people hope. You know what I mean? It's the way I think of it. Logically, I would be like, no, because they're fake fucking people. Like, how do I know that these things actually can be done? But going back to what I said before, I think because it's such a route of hope or potential hope for people, I'm going to lean more towards yes. Yeah.
Okay. So that analogy that you drew there is really interesting.
Mm-hmm.
We know that Goku is a fake cartoon character. We know that.
Right.
We know that Superman is also a cartoon character. We didn't know that these three individuals were not real human beings.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, whatever the calling is, we all need something to believe in. We all need a champion, somebody that we can look up to. I get it.
Mm-hmm.
And this argument, this discussion is not a logical discussion. This is a moral question.
Yeah.
Are you comfortable being lied to if in the end the overall purpose was noble?
That's actually a really good question.
Right?
Yeah.
Are you?
Yeah.
Are you comfortable being lied to? Knowing that there are probably hundreds, maybe thousands of people out there who benefited from the lie, and the only damage, I guess, to anybody else as a result of said lie was that there was money spent on the pretext of that lie. But in the end, what was done was noble and good, and the results are something that we can all go, that's something that we should all aspire to. Okay, right?
So I have this ongoing philosophy in my many sage years upon this earth. Money can be made back, time cannot.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yep.
So, in a way, the lie was beneficial in the end. And it also provides another interesting crossroads of inspection for the person mentally, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you think about it, like, if, we'll say one of the people, was able to recuperate themselves, get feeling in their legs, and I'm generalizing a story, right?
Yeah, right.
And so this person achieves that, they go on to do great things, and then they realize, hey, this person was a made-up AI story. Right. So then the person themselves could look at this in a very interesting way. They could either go like, well, then what the fuck was this all about, and kind of have like a slight woe is me type affair to it. Or they could be like, well, wait a minute, I could be the tangible story. I can be that person.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just kind of some stuff off the top of my head. I'd have to like kind of marinate and meditate on it just to be a bit more articulate. But I think it's an interesting moral conundrum to think about how the individual would approach things, if that makes sense.
Yes. Okay. Now let us take this to a new level, and let us frame it this way. Right now, in this moment, you may or may not be in the middle of a lie just like that, and I'll frame it this way: church, a religion in general.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You can easily point out all the things that are wrong with any a religion, a Catholicism, the LDS Church, Protestant, Islam, all that.
Mm-hmm.
All that. But, what if in the end that was true? Now, we're not there yet. We can't look back and go, oh, yeah, man, there is a God. Holy crap. Yep, there he is right there.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Okay? But we would all agree that the overall framework of when it comes to morality and how to conduct yourself as a human and the values that not one church but all the overall religious values, human life and compassion and service and faith and all of these things, we would generally agree those are good. However, in the moment, you're dealing with a lot of horrible people doing horrible things in the name of religion, in the name of my faith. Churches are being sued and people want their tithings back, or people can point out how the Catholic Church did all these, you have these priests, and there's always the joke about, priests and young boys and blah blah. We can all point that out, but in the end, it's also impossible. It's absolutely impossible to ignore the overall effect that many churches have on the world when it comes to charity and when it comes to dealing with the disasters and helping people in need, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But the problem with that is that we're not after it. We're in the middle of it. We're in the middle of it and we're dealing with it. This story is over. This story is done. And we can look back and look at the lie and we can look at the results and go, okay, well, you know what? That doesn't, in the end, that doesn't bother me too much. I mean, yes, people are terrible in general. They make shit up, but you know what? It helped all these people and that's good.
I mean, yeah. I totally get that because because for me is, while I understand that churches they exist for a reason, to a certain extent, unfortunately, with the rise of mega churches and online streaming and all that, I won't say churches are not needed, but I will say that the effect that churches had over the years has been diluted. And because me personally, growing up in a Baptist family and all that, going to church, Wednesdays, Saturdays, and Sundays, and kind of seeing the ugly side of how things are, because I haven't been to church in like forever and a day. However, because I was raised in the church, I've taken it upon myself to kind of do my own form of worship, if that makes sense. So when you really stop and think about it, I do believe for anyone who practices any kind of religion, I do believe churches are kind of like a stepping stone, if that makes sense. It's not really something that you need to kind of like be totally loyal to, because if anything, churches is nothing but a meeting point, and you don't really need it after a while, because you should gain a strong understanding of the religion that you chose to practice. And so once you kind of get that full understanding of it, you can kind of like look outside the church and kind of figure things out on its own. So I will say this. I do understand the importance of what churches have done over the years and all the good as it's done. But at the same time, I really want people to start seeing churches less of a place where they're required to go to, but more of a kind of like a community college, something that they can come in, meet like-minded people, learn what they wish to understand, and then once they feel ready, they can move on and kind of figure out their own path in life.
So I think what's interesting is a lot of religion, and this is across the board, a lot of religion poses probably one of the best foundations for moral ground of how to be a good person, right? And I think that gets lost over time because people use that as a vehicle for the human condition. So what I mean by that is every single human, everyone, and you cannot fucking tell me otherwise, has ambition and the urge for power. Because we see this, because the church used this. And shit, we could easily turn this into a 4 or 5 hour podcast with like a lot of shit we could talk about, backtracking with the, intricacies of, the early scandals of the church and shit like that.
Sure. Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. But the problem is when people take something like, with Christianity, Islam, etc., and they take it for evil means. Because I'm sure, Jay, you've seen this every Saturday, or I'm not sure if you've seen this, but like over by where I live in Pensacola, they have some of the mega churches. There's people who will stand on the corner with signs that say, repent or you're going to hell. Now, a lot of, like, the old school Christians that I know, they don't do that shit. They don't preach on the corner. They don't damn people. They don't do any of this shit. They're more of the people who are like, if you're trying to find your wallet or if you're $5 short on gas, they will do that for you.
Right.
Because it is not their place to judge. And so, what irritates me with like the mega churches and a lot of the other stuff is I think it's poisoning the core fabric of what religion is and what it does for people.
I get that.
Yeah.
For me in South Carolina, I didn't really see a whole lot of that. Because I went to a church. It wasn't a mega church, but it was kind of like a mid-size, and I didn't see those people. But at the same time, I did notice like kind of like it's like an underbelly, if you will, because what they notice in the Southern Baptist community is that people talk and they talk a lot, and people notice they're very observant of of the goings on in town and all that jazz, right? So. So every Saturday or Sunday I will go to church. I will always hear whispers like, "Oh, so and so did this, so and so did that." Basically being the worst kind of hypocrite, right? And that's one reason why I stepped outside the church is because that I didn't like the fact that. I hate the fact that people were judged for basically something that either they could or could not control. Because in the grand scheme of things. In the grand scheme of things, we're all struggling out here, even back then until now. And so that's the reason. So when I kind of find that out, that really kind of got under my skin, and it even started getting to people who I knew personally. So I was like, that was at the point where I was like, okay, this is not where I want to be right now. So.
Right. So okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's really interesting that we have sort of brought this to judgment and see this is interesting to me because I knew when I brought up church it would start the conversation and being judged. Now the whole concept of judge not lest ye be judged is one single part of a larger picture though. Okay, I look it up. I got it in front of me. It is Matthew chapter 7, verses 1 through 3. Judge not that ye be not judged. For with what judgment ye judge, ye shall be judged. Okay. And it goes on. And with what measure ye meet, it shall be measured unto you again. Why beholdest thou the mote in thy brother's eye without considering the one you have in yours? Okay, what is that getting to? It's getting to compassion. It's getting to forgiveness. Right? Right. Okay. Turning this all the way back to the beginning. We have compassion for those gamers who are disabled. Right? We do. We definitely do. We're like, and then going back to does the end justify the means? And apparently it does in this instance because nobody cares. Nobody cares that 3 fake people lied to us for multiple years. A fake person has an award But all these people were helped, and they were. I read this article several times. At no point in that article is there any accusation of funds were misused or stolen or they're just plain old not there. At no point does anybody think money was used incorrectly. At no point. So apparently we are okay with being lied to as long as people don't steal from us. We're comfortable being lied to. Okay, you can lie to me, just don't steal my shit. Right?
Yeah.
You can lie to me, just don't steal my shit. Okay, but see, that's a really interesting commentary on the overall human condition. I'm comfortable being lied to. Like you said, General Gravy, you can make money back, but you can't make time back. And I can look and go, okay, my time was well spent with this group, with this charity. Yeah, 3 people were fake, but look at all these people that got helped. Look at all these gamers who are now better off and then can go on and inspire others. Real world examples, actual live human beings can now inspire other people.
Yeah.
But it all originated from a lie.
Well, and again, it goes back to, our theological discussion. Because we cannot, I'm going to say this in general because I know there's some things.
Sure.
We cannot 100% validate a lot of the accounts in the Bible.
Yes.
So, in that retrospect, it's like, how do we know what parts are, true? We know some of it's true. Some of it is backed up. But the other parts, we don't know. So, and that's where it's like, how much of a lie are you comfortable with?
Very
exactly.
interesting point.
Exactly. Yeah. It's like how much of a lie you're comfortable with, and you can lie to me, but don't steal from me. You can lie to me, but don't steal from me. And that's all that by itself, that phrase right there is a really long conversation we can have later.
Oh, yeah.
But that right there is a really interesting thought experiment.
Oh,
lie to me, but don't steal my shit. Well, because
if you figure all of your shit, all of your stuff, all of your funds, that is the means of life. That is how you can continue. That is how you can, supply your family, your children, etc., etc. Right. A lot of people, they can go oh, but that's being materialistic. But you have to think about it, because especially in times with Islam, Buddhism, all this other stuff, you need those things to perpetuate life. And you don't need shit like phones and stuff like that. You don't. That's not the point. The point is your possessions of money and funds and things like that. That's why I say a lot of your money can be made back. You can get back the things that were stolen. You cannot get back the time that was spent.
Right. Exactly.
Gravy. I kind of say something. I would love to transition to this one topic. That's the perfect transition. Speaking of time and money not getting back, I've been paying attention to the whole Concord controversy. Go ahead. I've been paying close to it because it bothers me that it's like, look, being a game developer is far from easy. I mean, you have to come up with a concept that's gonna turn a lot of heads, make a lot of noise. However, in the end, it has to be good. And with Concord, my gripe with them is that I think they truly believed that that the LGBT community will be basically that'll be the result of their sales. And what they fail to understand is when it comes to that demographic, over the year they have shown that they are willing to ask for instead of give. They ask for more than they actually give. And not only that, but the fact that once everything started going downhill, you removed the LGBT community, like that tags on Steam, would lead me to believe that not only these devs, but there's a lot of game devs that actually uses that community to try to drum up like marketing, try to get free marketing and bigger sales. We know that's part of a bigger issue, but going back to Concord, is that the fact that they double and triple or quadruple down on anything that they're doing, instead of realizing that, you rolled the dice and you came out snake eyes. Like, understand is that we make a game, it's not gonna be well. However, the difference between a game being successful and staying bad is, what do you do after? Because we all know about Cyberpunk.
Oh,
We
yeah.
all know how Cyberpunk was in No Man's Sky. Now, CD Projekt Red could easily scratch Cyberpunk. Like, okay, it wasn't good. We're just gonna move on to whatever we got going on. Same with No Man's Sky. However, they understood that they had a vision for what they wanted, and they actually, they took the punches. They took the punches, and they basically improved. See, what bothers me about Concord is that you have an opportunity to do better. However, your mods and the devs, like, you're basically giving up before you're even trying to start again. And and see that the thing about gaming is that, yeah, people may clown you, your game might be downvoted all to hell, but that doesn't mean that's the end of it. Because the thing about gaming is that it's been proving that if you're willing to go out to the drawing board, listen to feedback, and actually kind of think about what what are the gamers looking for from our game? What do they want from us? And what can we give them, and what can we do to make their demands? Because that's what Cyberpunk has. That was Cyberpunk, in my opinion. When I first played Cyberpunk, I think Gravy, she was streaming it,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, I don't know. My man Grand Theft Auto a whole lot. The funny thing is, it took me watching Edge Runners to get into Cyberpunk, which was a very, very smart move.
So one thing super duper quick, I just thought of how we can quantify Concord. If Pride Month was a game.
That right there was a clip. That right there was a clip.
Yes.
Post that. Now, Jay, I think you made a really good point there about giving people what they want. And I think a really good example, real world, real-time example, you have Destiny 2 right now in a tough spot. Bungie's down bad. What are a lot of former Bungie or former Destiny 2 creators playing right now? First Descendant and Once Human.
And Warframe.
Right, and Warframe. But a lot of the people that I've followed over the past several years that kind of grew up on Destiny 2 are now playing First Descendant and Once Human, and they're having a great time doing it. Don't get me wrong here. I'm not saying that Destiny 2 is trash. What I'm saying is a lot of the same people are now moving to things, and these games were never framed as, this is going to kill Destiny 2. Destiny 2 has killed itself. Every game, Godspell, Anthem, that was supposed to kill Destiny 2, didn't. Destiny 2 killed itself. Bad decisions and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But what I'm saying is giving people what they want. Even Helldivers. People could not get enough of Helldivers. It was one of the most fun games people had played in a long time. First Descendant, Once Human. I have a friend who got a deal to promote Once Human, early access, all this stuff. And you could tell it was a deal because that was all his content for like 2 weeks. And I sent him a nice long message. I said, hey, it looks like that you got a deal from the Once Human publishers. I'm happy as hell for you, and I hope it works out for you. I really do. Because you could tell he had shifted. He was playing Destiny once a week and then playing Once Human 6 days a week. Obvious to tell. The guy was having a great time. He's making money doing it. That's the interesting part to me, is that you have a lot of developers who have watched Bungie have this awesome franchise that they just beat to death. They literally beat it to death. And now you have people, Helldivers, First Descendant, Once Human, Warframe. Those games are grabbing all of the old old school Destiny 2 players.
Mm-hmm.
They are literally pulling them away because you can see it in real time. Last weekend was a really good example. Trials of Osiris is like the super sweaty PvP thing that happens. It starts Friday at reset and it ends on Tuesday. And all of the super sweaty people who play PvP go there. Last Friday, they had 212,000 players. It's lowest in almost 3 years.
Oh shit.
That it had dropped from the previous week of nearly 700,000.
Yeah,
it had dropped that much.
Jesus.
In the piggyback off that, what bothers me about Bungie's leadership and basically direction is that for some odd reason they keep trying to make Destiny an even playing field when it never meant to be. You know, in my opinion, Destiny was never meant to be this even playing field that every player from veteran to beginner can come in and basically get everything. So, no, it's like people love Destiny is because of the glitches, because of the bugs, because of everything we can do in the game. Because when I still have my Xbox, I play Borderlands 3. Cause you want to know why? 2K Games literally said, you know what? You want a mod? Go ahead, mod. I don't give a damn. Like, do whatever you want. You can create your own kind of weapons. Like, literally, I can load up Borderlands 3 right now, and I have weapons that are game breaking, right? And that's the thing. Well, see, with Destiny 2, I think I don't want to blame PvP because that'd be unfair. Yeah. But at the same time, I can't help but feel that because PvP exists, that Bungie kind of put themselves in a corner, yeah. You know, because that. Yeah, even though PvP and PvE updates are separate, they correlate. You know, they basically intertwine. They're intertwined with each other.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that the whole power fantasy thing with like Force Ascendant and What's Human, I think Bungie wants to do it, but they can't do it at the risk of damaging any kind of competitiveness of Crucible. But at the same time, you kind of have to understand this one thing. You know, people are always looking for ways to basically game break a game. That's kind of how it's always been. Since the old days of PS3 and Xbox 360. It's always been like that. So, I really want Bungie to understand one thing. If you want players to come back, then you have to then you can't be the strict military dad that expects their kid to be successful out of high school. Like you can't do that. You got to take it easy. No, you got to take it easy, but you have to understand that people play games to do shit they can't do in real life. They want to be able to glide around a map. Instantly.
They want to be a space wizard.
Okay, exactly.
Yeah.
Just like I said last week. Now. Jay, I wanted another great point again. Jay, you're on a roll. See, this is what happens when you don't day drink and you don't wear horizontal stripes. You have really good points. One of the reasons Cyberpunk 2077...
Sorry, I just thought about it. I was just like, yeah, see, the horizontal stripes, what happens is it interferes with your signals to us,
Exactly. The lines, it blocks with vertical, it gets out. Anyway, one of the reasons Cyberpunk 2077 is so popular right now is that you can mod it. And I don't know if you've seen this, but there are hyper-realistic videos about Cyberpunk 2020, Cyberpunk 2077 going around. Seriously, there are multiple of these. They are just high-end, high-graphic, hyper-realistic, and it's one of the most amazing things. And there's like rumors floating that there's going to be an actual game version of some of this stuff. I put it in chat. I can see it right here. That you have these modders that are actually building out a game with this stuff. And
speaking of modders, I have to bring this up because so forget the group that's doing it. So people were so pissed off because we haven't had a port of Bloodborne to PC. There is a group that is like making a PC-ready version of Bloodborne right now, and they're almost done. Yeah. So they've tweeted this. It's a step-by-step thing. I'll put it in the chat later. But they they said the part they're hung up on is the shaders, because FromSoft makes really complicated shaders for a lot of their games.
Mm.
And they said once those are ready, they're going to release it. And I thought that is the coolest shit ever, is a bunch of fucking motivated people who are so done waiting for this fucking game to be ported.
Yeah.
There is a tin hat theory as to why. And a lot of people were saying it's because when they moved their headquarters to California, go figure, and because Sony, I guess, has proprietary rights over that particular IP, they lost the source code.
Oh, that's bad news.
Yeah. So what this community or this modder group is doing is I think they're like reverse engineering a bunch of stuff, or they're taking a lot of the files that they could get from like the Bloodborne game, and they're trying to make it PC ready. And I keep posting it in my Discord because I've got like a bunch of people who are like hella Souls fans. So I'm excited because I'm like, shit, I have a PS5 and I'm more excited about it being ported.
And see that's one of the things. Games have life. Games have a sustained life because at some point the publisher goes, "We're done messing with this. Here, take it." Yeah. You can go as far back as GoldenEye. GoldenEye mods were a big deal. Zombies. Okay, zombies so Call of Duty Zombies. In the first couple versions of, Call of Duty World at War, blah blah, we had zombies. It kind of went away for a while, but there was a modding community that would make really awesome maps and add in a bunch of crap. And now Zombies has made a major comeback. It's being now put back in the game modes. Okay, it is an option now because of the modding community. So I do not think Destiny 2 should be modded. It's an entirely too complex game to be doing that. I mean, you could take certain modes of it and maybe do something, but I think Destiny 2 is too big for that. But when you have a game, you have a game like Cyberpunk. Cyberpunk is a very defined game. There is a start and there is an end. Destiny 2 does not have an end. So trying to mod Destiny 2 would not work. But when it comes to Cyberpunk, you can mod it because it has a start and an end.
Well, it's like Halo. Like, if you're going to use the concept of modding Destiny 2, you look at Halo. Look at how many of the game modes that were actual just mods. We could even go a step further. Think of fucking CSGO. Or, I'm sorry, Counter-Strike 2. I apologize. Fucking Half-Life. Like, all of those...
Okay,
yes.
That right. See, that was my first real sort of introduction. Half-Life, Blue Shift was a mod, and I'm like, this is actually kind of fun. This is actually really cool.
Yeah,
and that was where I first learned about mods. Yeah.
Yeah. Ahead. So what I think is interesting, because since we were talking about all of the DEI games, because, oh boy, we haven't even touched on Dustborn yet. The actual crispiest fucking dumpster fire of a game. Like, if there was anything, I'm like, why?
It's like Scott, it's like Scott Pilgrim took heroin and just ended up in a crack house. Like,
like 100%. Like, I'm sorry, I played Parappa the Rapper. I played Guitar Man. I've played rhythm games.
Wait! You're telling me that you played Parappa the Rapper? Oh,
yeah.
I respect you more now, General Gravy, than respect you more than ever. That's amazing. That's amazing.
I
love you.
I have the demo before it was released.
Oh my god, I missed the demos. That was in a disc, like 10 other demos you can play for hours on end.
Dude, I have the demos for when PlayStation collabed with Pizza Hut.
Yes. Do you know how long ago was that? Jesus Christ. No, no. I had this where it was still Jam Underground.
Okay,
Mhm.
I think you could make money if you could find a person to take that CD-ROM and rip out all of those games and put it on like some cloud service. You guys
Oh,
make some money off
I
that.
I've got another one. I have the demo disc with Metal Gear Solid as the teaser before it came to America with the English VA, and it had all Japanese voice actors.
Mm.
I,
That's nice.
I've got a collection of some good shit.
Okay, what you have to do, you have to figure out how to get that on a PC so that you could record your screen and put that content down. People would love that stuff. People would love that.
I mean, I
Yes.
probably could. Yeah.
I'm not saying, honestly, it wouldn't be too hard. It would not be too hard.
Yeah, the technology exists, I'm sure. 100%. Yeah.
Yeah, it wouldn't be too hard, because that's something I will want to do is because like because I don't know, my older brother still has all, because he gave me a lot of his demo disc, and I think he still has it. If I could find them, I would love to just like, hey, can you take all the files and somehow compile it, because for me, because that's why I like going to flea markets and trying to find old games, stuff like that. Because for me, I still play emulators. I still play emulators to this day, like Sega Genesis and things like that. It's because that has while gaming has evolved. I'm not gonna say that it hasn't, but at the same time, it's basically lost the spirit of it. It basically lost the spirit of why gaming even exists today. Because it, just like in movies, it bothers me that everything needs to reflect in real life, and it's like it doesn't need to be, because gaming and movies is all about immersion. That is the spirit of gaming.
Well,
And
that's what we talked about last week. Was
yes,
it was the escapism of it. Like, one of the things that I think is one of the things that I think is the most unique, because I want to look at two games specifically, Cyberpunk and Baldur's Gate 3. Right?
Okay. Yep.
Besides the escapism of Baldur's Gate, to where, you play as a more generically lined character, you could play a male character and have relations with other male characters.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it's the same thing like with Cyberpunk. You can make you
Mm-hmm.
besides mods, you can make you to be in this fantasy setting. And that is something good.
And in Cyberpunk, you can have relationships based upon the gender of your character. For example, Judy. So if V is female, you have the possibility to romance Judy. If V is a guy, you do not.
Yeah.
You do not.
So
And
by the way, Judy is a cinnamon roll. She is the most adorable romance path ever. Because no, hear me out.
yeah.
Okay, Pan Am has step on me, mommy energy, 100%.
Yes.
No.
There it is.
No!
There it
mommy.
is.
I love Pan Am so much. It's those damn hips. Oh my God.
I could see that.
Pan Am is just like, what do you need me to do, Day Mommy? I will do whatever you ask me to do. Please, Mommy, please.
See,
Anyway.
that's why I'm glad they added. I really want to say your house missions, because I'm glad they have those now. Because guess what? Now I can fully be as delusional as I want to be. God damn it!
I kid you not, I would literally go to the ends of the earth for Pan Am Palmer. She is. I remember the first time that I played through Cyberpunk all the way, and I got to the part where they're in the tank together, and yes, it's a video game, and I know it. Okay, it's fine, but I'm just like, oh my God, I want to marry Pan. I have never been physically aroused by a video game character until I met Pan Am Palmer. Oh my god, I would literally do anything for that fake person.
Okay, Bill, you need some time to clean yourself up. You can do that right now.
Just remember to shift a little bit. Make yourself comfortable. Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Like this do little, like get all the stickiness out of it.
Okay. But see, that's right there. That whole conversation, Judy is a cinnamon roll, and Pan Am has mommy. That's why gaming is great.
Mm-hmm.
Right there, that right there.
Yes.
That right there.
Yes.
You guys love Judy. I find Judy is just an annoying, arrogant bitch. I literally can't stand Judy. I literally Judy, shut up. Judy, shut your freaking pie hole, you little bratty bitch.
Okay, but just give it a chance. If you do a female character, just hear me out, because she does a lot of adorable shit, especially once you get the ball rolling with her.
Okay.
And it's also funny is when you get towards the end of the game, when you see Pan Am's reaction to you and Judy.
Yeah,
try it, and you'll see what I'm talking about. It's actually super fucking funny.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, I will take your word for it. There's enough time I've been able to separate myself and look at it kind of third person view and go, yeah, it is slightly more than, it is slightly more than unhealthy to have that kind of attachment to a video game character, and I am now I'm now, older and wiser, and I see that. But mommy, gosh, oh, mommy,
like, man, see, like even I even with Final Fantasy 14, the fact that I can play Final Fantasy 14, and once I get to a certain level, I literally have every job available to me that I actually want to do, and I like that. And see, that's what I like about RPGs. It's like, hey. Let me make believe I can be a red mage for a couple of hours and just, So anyway, I started blasting, this.
Well, that's why there's a class in there, and I love the most of the stereotypes in Final Fantasy, because there's a class in there called Warrior, where you can have a big fucking meat cleaving having axe, and that is the. So anyway, I just started swinging, and they have another stereotype of the Unga Bunga class, because you just fucking get after it. You just do it. You just sit there and you swing your axe, and you just fucking man mode that shit. Like, it is the most raw dogginest like, if Titan was a class in Final Fantasy, it's Warrior.
Okay.
Right. 100%. Jay, whenever you log back on, I'll show you, and you would 100% be like, yeah, that makes sense.
It's kind of funny because Cyberpunk, I love playing a Berserk class and just having my little sledgehammer and just whacking people to death. So,
Oh yeah, it's good shit. It's fun times. But speaking of fun times, unfortunately, gentlemen, I do have to bring the episode to a close today. I have to go do stuff and things and stuff.
I don't want to adult today. I don't want to adult. I want to be a cat. I want to lay in bed, and then if people bother me, I want to swat at them.
You can.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I'll allow it.
Thank you.
Oh my goodness. So anyway, as always, it has been a pleasure, and I will catch you beautiful people in the next episode. Bye-bye!